both sides in the fight over boosting the federal minimum wage have new ammunition. On Tuesday, the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office released a report on the Democrats' plan. It estimates a $10.10 minimum would increase the income of nearly 17 million Americans, and it would lift 900,000 workers out of poverty.
But those gains could come at a steep cost, the elimination of 500,000 jobs. Jon Hilsenrath is the chief economics correspondent for the Wall Street Journal. He is in Washington. Jon, good morning.
Good morning, Charlie.
So what does this report add to the debate over the minimum wage?
Well, I think it adds a very important point, which you frankly don't get enough of in Washington, which is that with any policy, and particularly with this minimum wage policy, there are trade-offs. And Republicans and Democrats, when they argue about these things, they don't acknowledge the trade-offs. As you said in your introduction, 900,000 people could be lifted out of poverty, but 500,000 people could lose their jobs. And so what we face with the minimum wage debate is a choice. Is it worth helping the 900,000 and frankly 16.5 million people who could see their wages increase when the cost is a very discrete job loss for hundreds of thousands of people?
There's a lot at stake politically with this report because the president and Democrats are pushing this raise in minimum wage to run against Republicans in this election year. Yesterday, the White House came out and said, look, this does not reflect the consensus view of economists that the minimum wage has been studied for years and its effect on unemployment. What do you take about their argument?
You know, I think you have to look at the back of the report. I counted up 61 references to different outside studies that were done on the minimum wage and its effects on employment and income. It looks to me like the CBO did its best job of coming up with a down the middle point of view. And, you know, I think the White House response in part reflects the nature of debate in Washington. Republicans are only going to emphasize the negatives. Democrats are only going to emphasize the positives. But in truth, there are trade-offs, and that's what the public has to understand.
Jon, thank you so much.